Hello, guys. Welcome back to another installment of Professor Charles's Live. And today we're going to talk about something that's superhero like. So, this is me talking about something that's going to be completely different from what I usually talk about. So, today, let's talk about it. My top five Marvel villains from the cinematic universe, not the TV universe, the cinematic. And let me just start off also the other topic we're going to cover. Was T'Challa's father the real villain in Black Panther? That's going to be the second part of this video. The first part is going to be my top five villains. The first person on this list is Loki. You know what, Loki? I think it's because of his ways and his magic. I think you always think Loki's gonna die. You know what I'm saying? Like remember seeing Thor 1 and 2, and then Civil War and 3. I mean, he eventually died, but I think Loki. I just like him, man. He's a very cunning villain. I really like that about him. He's very wise. And his magic, man. His magic game is A1. Like for him to be one of those ice looking troll things, I'm like, bruh. Just imagine if he learned his people's powers and stuff, he would be dangerous. I mean, Loki is definitely number five on the list. He ain't number one on the list, but Loki is definitely one of the villains that I think Thor had a hard time fighting because you never knew if Loki was making illusions or if it was the real him. I mean, he almost like tricked people to get him out of a cell. It's just like, man, Loki's just one villain that you don't want to cross paths with. Then here comes another villain. I'm not gonna say that villain right now. Just say that, okay? But Loki was definitely one of my favorites. Number five Marvel villains from the cinematic universe. Now, number two on this list. On the list, number two. Number two on the list is someone that I felt like he had a vendetta. What do I mean by vendetta? I personally think Ultron is number two on the list. He ain't up there with the top three, okay? But I like Ultron. You can understand Ultron's logic. Like, Tony abandoned him, man. He came out with Jarvis and everything. And you can understand why Ultron was probably jealous. Like, oh, so you got a new friend. You got a new best friend, huh? New AI. But I like Ultron as a villain. It's very interesting, man, because you thought, Ultron's one of those villains where he's hard to kill. Also, I just like how he is as a villain. He felt like Tony kind of put him down like an old toy. You know how you get rid of your old toys or your old inventions, and you can see that he was a little bit bitter or salty about it. And I think with Ultron, it was more so like, hey, I want to take over the world with technology. And he wanted to get rid of the humans because I guess his disloyalty from Tony Stark, also known as Iron Man, you can understand. It's like, man, betrayal is something else, isn't it? Right? But you can understand the frustration of Ultron. He felt like he was the stepchild to Tony's inventions. Come on, guys. I mean, Jarvis, he's come up with other probably software and technology as well because Tony is the inventor of the Avengers when it comes to technology. It's like the Batman of Marvel, but just more of a playboy. Oh my god, my camera just did that. Almost did like an upside down, like whoopsie. But literally, I gotta say, Ultron is definitely number two on the list because, like I said, he is no Loki. Don't get me wrong, but I like Ultron. But you can understand Ultron's frustration, excuse me, with Tony Stark. Man, this thing does not want to stay today. But yeah, you can understand that. Now, number three on the list is someone that I liked as a cinematic villain. And we're not talking about the regular Avengers. We're talking about Spider-Man. So now, number three on the list. number three. Number three is Mysterio. I like Mysterio, man. Mysterio's is probably one of my top Spider-Man villains from Spider-Man. I think Mysterio's story was really good. You could understand his logic compared to why he hated Tony. I mean, it seemed like Tony kind of ruined his life, man. You know what I'm saying? You can understand that Mysterio just wanted to dismantle everything Tony stood for, even his protege, Spider-Man, yo. And I was like, look, this guy is just like, he wants to make Peter's life miserable. He took Peter under his wing. But in actuality, he wasn't trying to get close to Peter. He was getting there to use him. What's up, Avid Gamer? What's up, bro? What's going on? So Mysterio is definitely my number three villain for the Marvel Cinematic movies. Mysterio, because I think with Mysterio, I love that he's an illusionist. I love the battle between him and Peter Parker. Very interesting battle. I love how he had the illusion of Iron Man, a dead Iron Man, and just like showing all what happened, like his illusions of what could happen if Peter don't realize what's gonna happen. I thought that was neat because he kind of played tricks on Peter, and Peter had to step his game up, right? Peter had to get a whole nother suit to figure out which was real and which was an illusion, yo. Nice battle for sure, classic. Yes, yes, Mysterio, yes, and Spider-Man Far From Home. And I think Jake Gyllenhaal did an excellent job playing Mysterio, man. I always wanted to see Mysterio as a character for the Marvel Cinematic, like in a live adaptation. Like I always hoped. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Green Goblin. I like Venom. But I was like, man, it's about time we get somebody else, like Hammerhead or something else. Yeah, he had to step his game up for sure. Yes, yes, he definitely did. And I was just like, yo, this is dope. Like when I seen it, I was like, yep, Mysterio. Yes. So Mysterio is number three on the list. Now, number four on the list, I already know. I'm going to talk about it. Killmonger. Yes, Killmonger. You know what, man? It's weird. This is how I feel about Killmonger. Like 4 and 5 are a little bit different from the other two other villains I mentioned. But Killmonger, you could understand the hurt, the frustration. You know what I'm saying? The family secret. You know what I'm saying? T'Challa's father is the reason his father is dead. On top of that, to see probably coming back to his house. Because remember in Black Panther, we saw a younger Killmonger go, playing basketball on the court, and he probably went back home and was traumatized. His father died. But I love that Killmonger was this type of villain where he didn't take no junk, man. You know what I'm saying? He even turned on Claw. You know what I'm saying? Claw killed this girl. My man's like, all right, I'm gonna kill your people. I was like, dang, all right, Killmonger, I see you out here, bro. And I liked Killmonger's character. I think Michael B. Jordan did a fantastic job playing Killmonger. It was very iconic, man. Like he played that role to a T. I love the scene in the movie where he's like, "What do you think this is from?" She's like, "Oh, this is from Benin." He's like, "Nah, Wakanda." You should have seen the look on that lady's face and the way he was so like crazy, like how he got her. I was like, "Dang, bro!" I said, "Dang, Killmonger out here, savage, bro." And until T'Challa got whipped by him a couple times. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing I did like about that. I said, "Dang, T'Challa ain't having no easy battle with him." I mean, he fought Mbach, right? And he may actually be a villain. I don't know. Maybe in Black Panther 2, maybe a villain, maybe an ally. Who knows? We'll see. But I like that Killmonger. You can understand the pain that he went through. I mean, he did deserve royalty. I mean, he was a part of the family that was killed. That was T'Challa's cousin that he didn't know about thanks to Daddy. Yes. But you could tell that Killmonger, when he meant something, he did it. I remember he burnt all those purple flowers. Man, Killmonger was giving the business, but hey, he had help. He had Claw. You know what I'm saying? That's how he got into Wakanda. You know what I'm saying? Claw told him about how to get to Wakanda. And I think personally, he did a fantastic job. Like when I seen the movie, I said, man, like Killmonger gives me chills, man. Like Michael B. Jordan played that role so well, just like I get goosebumps. I don't know if it's between him and Heath Ledger that played the Joker in Batman: The Dark Knight. I was like, man, certain actors just give you that chill where you just like, wow, they played a fantastic job with this role. But I liked Killmonger. You know what I'm saying? Killmonger was kind of like the he had like that Malcolm X like to him, like that vibe. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's what it was, but I felt that way. You know what I'm saying? He was for his people, but the thing was, T'Challa and him clashed. It was kind of like a Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. And maybe I'll talk about that in another video, but I can see that there were some divides between the two. You know what I'm saying? Now, Number two, no, not number two, excuse me. Number one on the list. Oh man, yes, number one. We're gonna talk about number one right now. Thanos. And I also don't consider him necessarily a villain, man. Let me just explain this to you guys, man. Thanos, when I mean he was the biggest baddie for Marvel, boy, I felt bad for the Incredible Hulk, man. He pieced up Hulk so bad. I'm like, bruh. Even the Hulk didn't want to face him no more. He was like, I can't change back. I said, boy, he had the Hulk shaking in his boots. It was funny because somebody was like, you can't turn back. No, I can't. You see, like his face. I was like, yeah. One thing I loved about Thanos, man, he was the one that broke the Avengers, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people be always wanting the heroes to win. Like, sometimes the villain got to win, y'all. Like, come on, man. It was a two-part movie. You had Infinity War and you had Endgame. Come on, you thought he was gonna lose in the first movie? Ah, get out of here with that. But one thing I liked about Thanos, despite him being the way he was, you kind of understood his logic, man. He was straightforward. He said, "Look, I'm for these Infinity Stones," and he reminded me of Tony Stark. You know what I'm saying? He had an actual family. Tony family was the Avengers. You know what I'm saying? And he put them all at risk. You know what I'm saying? People were dying. On both sides. I think one thing about Thanos, man, I can respect him, man. As a villain, I love the scene when he sacrificed her, and you could tell that he really cared about her. Like he actually shed a tear. I was like, dang, bro, the hardest villain. I knew he was gonna be a victor in the first one. Yeah, me too, me too. But yo, I was just like when he shed a tear when he sacrificed his daughter for that soul gem. I was like, bro, I couldn't believe. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're mad at him, but at the same time, you like he has some sympathy for it. He empathizes. Like he knew he did the wrong thing. He's kind of like having regret for it. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like he was the closest to Gamora. One also the other thing that I liked about Thanos, boy, we finally had some major deaths, man. When he killed Thor's best friend, oh man, I can't think of my man's name off the top of my head. When he killed Hemlock, I said, bro, I like, why the brother had to die? I was just like, I couldn't believe it. Like, when he killed Hemlock, I was like, dang, bro. And then what made it even worse for Thor, man? Thor just went through the most suffering in that movie. You know what I'm saying? He lost Hemlock, then he loses Loki in one day. One freaking day, you're just like, are you freaking kidding me? There's no way he's gonna get through this. You know what I'm saying? You would have thought Thor would have went to the dark side after that situation. Like you lost your best friend, then you lose your brother. Your home planet is gone. Well, Asgard is gone. It's just like, what else can you lose? You know what I'm saying? Who else you gonna lose in this? You know what I'm saying? And we see that. But one thing I can say about Thanos, he had tactics, man. He came prepared. He had his people come with him to get them stones. But also, what I liked about Thanos, man, when you really think of Thanos, he really was trying to help the Earth. It sounds crazy, but think about it. When you see the other scene in Infinity War, where Thanos shows his planet, it became a wasteland, man. It was trash, abandoned ships everywhere, like sculptures and different buildings and stuff. I think personally, he just wanted the Earth to be less populated, to be honest, and he did just that. But I liked him in Infinity War, man. You know what I'm saying? You understood, like, okay, he gonna be a problem. He ain't these other villains. He ain't no B rank villain. This is an A rank villain right here. You know what I'm saying? And we saw that, And when he won, when he actually succeeded, man, I love the part where he plays with Thor. You should have gone for the head. And I think Thor was traumatized by that, yo. I was like, bro, when we see like was it Endgame? It was crazy because Thor like literally remember that line. I was just like, that is crazy that Thor literally thought that, bro. But like I said, Thanos is definitely the one I would say, what's up, Purpose Cell? What's going on, man? Sorry, I had to do the stream late. So, like I said, 9 was the new time for today. This is for today, guys. I'm not gonna make this though everyday thing. But just talking about the Marvel villains, man, you missed out, man. I already named them. Ultron. Well, what is it? First off, we're gonna say it's not Ultron. It was Loki, Ultron, Mysterio, then Killmonger, then Thanos, man. Those were like my top villains, man, for like the Marvel Cinematic Movie Universe. But now let's talk about this, guys. I seen a meme floating around, and you know what? The meme made absolute sense. We're gonna talk about Black Panther. Now, if you've seen Black Panther, you kind of understand, like, really, like, there was a meme going around on Instagram and on Twitter where they asked personally, right? So let me just say this. They said that really Killmonger wasn't the real villain in Black Panther, it was T'Challa's father. Now, I totally agree with this, you know what I'm saying? Because he kind of birthed Killmonger, you know what I'm saying? Like, Killmonger's hate for his family kind of became the fuel, the rage to want to go to Wakanda and to become the king of Wakanda and stuff like that. And if it wasn't for T'Challa's dad, because he kept it a secret from T'Challa, you know what I'm saying? He kept that a secret even when he died. And I'm like, bruh, you holding on to family secrets, bruh? Nah, bruh, nah. You know what I'm saying? And you can understand, like, Killmonger probably realized, like, oh, so my uncle killed my daddy? All right, bruh. When I get older, I'm coming back. I'm getting my crown and everything. You know what I'm saying? And you can understand why he felt that way. Even when T'Challa confronted his father in the spirit world, the ancestral plane, you saw the frustration, you know what I'm saying? And his father, he's like, why did you tell me, father? And you can see that he was angry with him because he kept that secret. He kept that burden. I guess he didn't want that burden to be on T'Challa, having to worry about Killmonger's son coming to Wakanda, but also maybe he didn't want T'Challa to worry about it either. He didn't want that to be on his plate, to be a burden, to be the next king, and also the Black Panther. But I think how he went about it was cowardly. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, birthed a whole nother villain, bro. You just don't realize it, man. Like Killmonger was working with Claw. Then he betrayed Claw. But I think if his father would have been honest about what really happened, it could have been nipped in the butt. You know what I'm saying? The whole situation probably could have not been where they were at each other, T'Challa versus Killmonger. But I gotta say, Killmonger was smart. You know what I'm saying? He used his resources. He was in the army. Then he figured out where Wakanda was at personally. I thought that was neat. But I think, yes, the father was the villain because he kind of birthed Killmonger. You know what I'm saying? He was the reason that Killmonger turned out the way he was. If he had never killed his father, he would have never ever became that way. He wouldn't have had that hatred towards Wakanda and his people. You know what I'm saying? Like, my man's came like dominant status, alpha male, like, I'm gonna be new king of Wakanda, you know what I'm saying? And whooped up to T'Challa, man. I was like, God, dog, bro. How you let an outsider come whoop you up? You know what I'm saying? But he had to lose, you know what I'm saying? T'Challa lost because Killmonger was way more skilled. And I just think, man, if he would have told his son that before he went to the ancestral plane, it'd have been a lot easier. You know what I'm saying? Like, T'Challa could have went around the globe, you know what I'm saying, to figure out where his uncle's son was at, which is his cousin. And I think personally, I'm like, man, that is incredible how they kind of like wish his father would have said more. You know what I'm saying? I think it was just something that his father had to live with, even when he died. You know what I'm saying? I guess he felt like I can't live up to telling my wife, my son, the rest of this kingdom that I killed my own brother. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, dang, to have that burden and not to give it to your son and not to tell the family secret, bro. He twisted. He twisted, y'all. He is twisted. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, man, that's incredible, man. But also, guys, Marvel, man, I think, like I said, the villains, man, with Marvel, especially the movie villains, like I said, Jay Gyllenhaal played an excellent job as Mysterio. Josh Brolin, hands down, bro, you the GOAT. Let me tell y'all why Josh Brolin is the GOAT for this. He had two different schedules. He was for Deadpool 2 and Avengers 3 and 4. This man split his schedule, meaning he had to travel from Deadpool 2 to the next set Avengers to film. He wasn't the same character, but guess what? He still did it. And boy, he got the biggest chest, boy. Deadpool 2, Avengers Infinity War, and Endgame. Three films. Three films, yo. I was like, bro, you the most hardworking villain actor we've had for a Marvel film. You know what I'm saying? Like my man's going above and beyond, up and away. But Josh Brolin did a fantastic job. I'm like, man, props to him. Salute. Because I never thought we were gonna see something like that where he just was like, look, I can do this, I can do that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, that is interesting, man. It's cool that he took the consideration, like, all right, I know they filming across this part of the globe, they filming here. I'm glad that Jake Gyllenhaal picked up Mysterio for Spider-Man Far From Home because I always wanted to see someone that was really good to play Mysterio. They had other choices. I can't remember the other two choices they had for Mysterio, and I was just like, nah, I just wasn't feeling the choices, yo. I'm not gonna lie. I was just like, nah, I ain't really feeling these choices, my, you know what I'm saying? So when I seen, I was like, oh, it's not him. All right, cool. So then when I finally heard the news because there were rumors swirling around like Jake Gyllenhaal is Mysterio for the next Spider-Man film, I'm like, I'm liking this. I thought it was the best thing. I was like, Jake Gyllenhaal has played some decent roles in films, so I was just like, this might be the one right here. And when Jake Gyllenhaal, when I went to go see Spider-Man Far From Home, I was like, this is it, bro. You doing your thing playing Mysterio, man. He really got into the character. I like the story behind Mysterio, you know what I'm saying? Working for Tony and Tony kind of giving the short end of the stick type of thing. I was just like, you know, don't you hate when you work for someone and you're just like, hey, why me? You know what I'm saying? And you can see that Tony kind of used him in a sense like a pawn, and he was like, I'm out for revenge. It was a different type of Mysterio because remember, I don't know if you guys remember in the Spider-Man animated series that came out in the '90s, he was a failed actor. Yeah, so it was a little different. I could be cool with that. I wasn't like, oh man, why he ain't no actor? I mean, he acted like an actor, man. He had the people that did all the visual effects, you know what I'm saying, the monitors and all that. I was like, bro, and one thing I can respect about Mysterio, he hired every single person that Tony fired, bro. I was like, bro, like you go status for real for that. Like you hired every single person that Tony fired. Like, ah, yeah, I need you. What do you do? Oh, you do visual effects? Yeah, I need you for that. Oh, you do smoke and mirrors? I need you for that. You know what I'm saying? Like my man's built his own team from Tony Stark's fired employees, bruh. I was like, bruh. But yes, and also Mysterio, man, he did something else too, man. Literally, everybody knows Peter's secret identity now. Like, oh, I was like, bruh, that's like a big no. You're sitting there saying to yourself, like, no, Mysterio, why? But yes, Mysterio did a great job, man. And also, Michael B. Jordan played an excellent Killmonger, man. I couldn't have thought of a better choice to play Killmonger. When Michael B. Jordan gets into roles, he really gets into roles. I heard that he literally had to separate himself from the rest of the Black Panther cast to get into the character Killmonger because of how dark the character was. And I'm like, I can respect that, bro. He literally had to go to therapy, y'all. I was like, that was the first time I heard an actor confessing, like, yeah, I go to therapy. I'm like, bro, you supernatural, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't never hear no actor say, yeah, man, after I played this role, I had to go to therapy. I was just like, I can respect Michael B. Jordan for that because it messed with him so emotionally when he got into that character. He wasn't really calling his family like that or his parents, you know what I'm saying? And that can be scary because when you get into a role, you're really getting into it, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, I can respect that he really said, you know what? I need help. His role is a really good role, but I'm having problems kind of trying to get back into to the real world and interacting with people and being a part of a cast, a fantastic cast of that, you know. So I can respect that he did that. And also Loki, Tom Hiddleston. Man, that guy will forever be the best Loki, guys. I'm sorry, man. When I think of Loki, I'm just like Tom Hiddleston. I like the acting, man. He's very when he plays roles. He played in something else I saw a while back. Can't even name the movie. But when I seen what he was in, I was like, hey, he's doing a good job in this too. It seems like he's able to pick up roles and adapt to them like a chameleon right away. So I think, like I said, with that, I was just like, bruh, you got the juice. You know what I'm saying? So that's something I can respect about actors. Some actors, when they pick up roles, you already know it's gonna be lit. You like, yep, that's about it. It's about to be lit. It's about to be lit. But also, guys, what I'm hoping to see, I know a lot of y'all probably gonna wonder what I'm talking about now. I'm talking about Black Widow, man. Like, I think Disney Plus owes us a Black Widow. Please, Disney Plus, give us Black Widow. Like, I literally said to myself, man, I'm like, all right, theaters are still closed in where I live at in the States. And I'm just like, bruh, come on, give us a Black Widow. Y'all talking about, oh yeah, coming out in November. Yeah, right. And when the theaters still are not open in the state that I live in, I'm like, absolutely not. So like Disney, like I don't know why Disney's like holding out on this movie for dear life. Like, yeah, it's mine, Black Widow's mine. You're just like, come on, Disney, give it up. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I want to see Black Widow so bad, for one, the trailers. All the trailers were lit. I like Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow. She's a decent actor playing Black Widow. Also, she's in the director's chair. You know what I'm saying? So she's not the producer, she's not the writer of it, but I'm just like, I want to see what Scarlett. Like, it's interesting that they gave Scarlett Johansson the thumbs up for. You know what I'm saying? Like they had went through numerous directors. Yeah, they did. I remember when they talked about it, I said, numerous directors? Dang, y'all making sure this movie lit because maybe Captain Marvel didn't do that great personally. I can't I can't get over Captain Marvel. But I will say this about Captain Marvel too. There's a new woman director, black director at that. I do know that, yes. I'm happy to see that because maybe to me the other director, I didn't know any of the work of that director. I was like, you know what I'm saying? You know how you just be like trying to figure out like, do I want to spend my money on this movie? And that's how I felt about Captain Marvel. To me, it wasn't great to me at all. It was boring. I fell asleep a couple times. I wish the movie would have had a better backstory for the villain in Captain Marvel. I'm just like, y'all giving us this? Maggie? You know what I'm saying? But I could definitely say it's good to see Scarlett Johansson in director's chair. Hopefully it's decent. The other reason, Taskmaster is a woman. Yes, it's been confirmed. Taskmaster for Black Widow's solo movie will be a woman. I kind of figured. I'm like the physique. I was like, this definitely ain't nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like when I seen the costume for Taskmaster, I'm like, I smell woman. Not to be crazy, but just telling the truth. I was like, it's the way it was made. I'm like, is Taskmaster a she now? Which I'm totally fine with. I don't have any issue with Taskmaster being a woman villain. You know, that changes with Marvel and DC. Sometimes the villain becomes a man or maybe a woman, which I'm totally fine with. But I want to see Black Widow. It looks promising. It takes place after Civil War. And like I said, I just think Marvel just need to let it go. Just let it go and put it on the Disney Plus app because I still don't see us going to the theaters no time soon, y'all. Like as much as I want to go see movies, I'm just like, dang man, gotta go watch it on Netflix, go watch it on Hulu, Disney Plus. You know what I'm saying? But I think it'll do extremely well. I think if they were to like say, hey, look, we're gonna release it, this day in October, September, whatever day they're gonna release it, I think it would do extremely well. I mean, the streaming era is amongst us when it comes to TV shows and movies. Heck, when I'm not at work, you know what I'm saying? When I'm not at home and I'm at work, I usually stream stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like other shows and stuff. But I think they do well. I think they're scared because I think in some form or fashion, they're gonna lose money, of course, because it's a digital distribution. compared to box office movie, excuse me. And I was just like, dang, it is kind of sucky that they have to go with the route where they have to choose and pick what Marvel movies are gonna put out. But I'm happy to see that Black Widow looks interesting, looks promising for a film. I like Scarlett Johansson as an actress, so I was just like, okay, it ain't because she hot, but she can act. You know what I'm saying? Okay, yeah, she's nice looking, but I'm like, besides her being nice looking, she can play roles. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know. Also, guys, I'm looking forward to another Spider-Man film too, man. Speaking of Spider-Man, let me get to Spider-Man again one more time. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2. I think that movie is highly anticipated. Because the first one did so well. I know adults. When I mean adults, I mean older adults that love that freaking movie, and they're not in my age bracket. I'm like, wait a minute, you like that? You're like, oh yeah, that was good. I remember I was at the gas station one day and I had on my Spider-Man shirt. He's like, oh man, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, that was the best animated movie of that year. And I'm like, bruh, I can't even deny my you telling the truth on that. It was. It was rewatchable. It was a good movie overall. You got to learn more about Miles Morales. And I think because of the anticipation is so like overwhelming, Sony has a lot on the plate. You know what I'm saying? Meaning risk. And people are looking forward to see if it's gonna outdo the first movie. And you know what? As a person that loves movies and TV shows, you always sometimes when you see a sequel, you love the first sequel. Don't get me wrong. The first sequel always has a place in your heart. It's like your first love. But the second one, it has to live up to that particular expectation. Like, it's got to outdo the first one. It's just like, listen to music. You're like, okay, this first album, nice, right? But this second album got to be a next level up. It's the same thing how it is with movies. You look at the movie, you're like, oh man, the first one was great. What are they gonna do to make the second one better? And I think that's what people are looking forward to with Spider-Man Into Spider-Verse. I love the chemistry amongst the actors and actresses. I thought that was really neat for the movie. And the 3D animation, that costs money. I think that's why the movie hasn't come out right away. 3D animation costs a lot of money to make a film. And I learned that back when I was into the art thing. Yes. I had my art phase where I was drawing and all that stuff, guys. But it cost a lot of money to put out an animation. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, I can understand. You know what I'm saying? I was sitting there like, I want to see it next year. You're just like, you know what? Let's be honest. It's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? You have to be honest with yourself. Like, is this really going to happen? Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? So I understood that. That was perfectly fine with me. I saw that. I was just like, well, unfortunately, things happen for a reason. And like I said, I had to understand that 3D animation costs more to make a film compared to a live film. But one thing I would love to see with Marvel, maybe once they're done with the third Spider-Man film with Tom Holland, I would love to see a Miles Morales film, like a live Miles Morales film, because I think Sony could do something with it. You know what I'm saying? Sony still owns Spider-Man, and Marvel does too. But I think it's time for us to get Miles Morales' story. Like, how many times are we going to do Peter's story? You know what I'm saying? Peter Parker's story has been told, excuse me, guys, a couple different times. Don't get me wrong. But it's time for Miles Morales to tell his story and learn about Uncle Aaron and Kingpin and all them. Like, I think it would be so dope to see that as a live action movie. I'm like, yeah, and I think Sony is going to have that happen. Maybe once this third Spider-Man movie is over with Tom Holland. And you know what? I would love to see Tom Holland return. Like if they did like a live version for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, I would love to see Tom Holland return. If they could get Toby back, that would be iconic. You know what I'm saying? Like Toby Maguire as Spider-Man? Oh my God, dude was the goal for Spider-Man. He is the oldest Spider-Man actor that we had. Tom Holland is the youngest. Andrew Garfield, I never really got into him. He's a little bit too emo for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I ain't feeling this emo Spider-Man thing. But if they got the other two Spider-Mans back and Miles Morales and someone else to play Andrew Garfield's role for another Spider-Man, I would love to see what they can do with that. But guys, what do you think about this? Are you with me on this? Or are you just like, yeah, that do sound pretty neat, right? A new Spider-Man film? I think it would be dope. for a live film. Also, a live Into the Spider Verse. So I'm hoping that Sony, since Sony and Marvel squashed their little differences that they had, hopefully they can come to some agreement to give us a Spider-Man Into the Spider Verse live film. You know what I'm saying? Also, not just that, but something that's really decent. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to see things right, but the thing is, if it doesn't come out right, like you gotta have a decent director for one. Like they need to hire my man Sam Raimi that did the old Spider-Man films. If they did that, that would be dope because he had a lot of dope visuals. He's also doing Doctor Strange 2 that's coming out. I don't know when, but apparently he's the new director for Doctor Strange 2 because the other director left. But I think personally it's a good idea. Hopefully, we could see him do something maybe with Spider-Man into Spider-Verse film, or they could keep the director that they have now that's really decent. He does a good job too, but I felt like with the visual effects, my man's was a little bit more, what I'm saying, with it. You know what I'm saying? Like he really, you could tell he really was good with it. But guys, this is my live for today, guys. It's not going to be super long. I know this is not a lot of people. Appreciate the people that did come by. And tomorrow I'm back with another live, guys. Yes, live with a collaboration of another content creator. And until next time, guys, have a wonderful day. I'm out.